The Zephyrian trade delegation had made this mistake only once before, and Captain Veltar still bore the neural scars from that encounter. As their sleek vessel approached the human mining outpost on Kepler 442c, the ship's chronometer indicated local sunset was still 3 standard hours away. Good. They had time. Maintain distance of exactly 50 kilometers from the perimeter, Veltar commanded his pilot, and monitor the star's position constantly. The younger crew members exchanged glances. Lieutenant Crickson, fresh from the academy, dared to voice what others were thinking.
Sir, with respect, why such extreme caution?
Intelligence reports indicate only 200 humans stationed at this facility. Veltar's 4 eyes narrowed, and his usually blue-tinted skin flickered to the warning orange that indicated deep unease. 200 humans, he repeated slowly. Tell me, Lieutenant, what do you know of human evolutionary history? Standard xenobiology curriculum, sir. Evolved from persistence hunters on a death world. Enhanced endurance, problem-solving capabilities, and... No, Veltar cut him off. You know facts. You don't understand implications. He activated the main screen showing the human outpost below. Even from 50 kilometers, the sprawling complex was impressive. Mining equipment, residential domes, landing pads, and communication arrays. But what caught the eye of every experienced spacer was what surrounded it. Absolutely nothing. No defensive walls, no energy shields, no orbital platforms. Sir, Navigation Officer Threnall spoke up. Scans show minimal defensive installations. Surely 200 humans cannot pose a significant threat to a battle-capable vessel like ours. Observe, Veltar said, pulling up historical footage on the secondary screen. This is combat footage from the Hegemony War, taken during the siege of Tauren Prime. The crew watched as massive Borthak siege crawlers, each the size of a city block, advanced across an alien landscape under cover of darkness. The footage switched to thermal imaging, showing disciplined formations of the galaxy's most feared heavy infantry moving through trenches and bunkers. Then suddenly the formations began to break apart. Individual heat signatures started disappearing, not from explosions or energy weapons, but simply vanishing one by one. What are we watching, sir? Crickson whispered. 40,000 Borthak warriors, Veltar replied. The finest night fighters in known space being systematically eliminated by 300 human soldiers. The humans call it asymmetric warfare, but every military analyst in the galaxy has a different term for it. The footage continued, showing Borthak heavy weapons platforms suddenly turning their guns on their own forces before their crews were found dead. No wounds, no signs of struggle, just dead. Supply convoys discovered empty, their guards missing without a trace. Command posts falling silent, their occupants found days later in impossible locations as if they had simply walked away from their posts in the middle of combat operations. The Borthak retreated after losing 60% of their force, Veltar continued. They never could explain how. The humans had no air support, no heavy artillery, no orbital strikes. They simply waited for darkness and then... He gestured at the screen where the thermal signatures continued to disappear. They became something else. Chief Science Officer Dr. Ylanthi, whose species had evolved from prey animals on a predator-rich world, was studying the atmospheric readings from the human outpost. Captain, I'm detecting unusual electromagnetic signatures from the surface. They appear to be some form of passive scanning array, but the configuration is unlike anything in our databases. Those aren't defensive systems, Veltar explained. They're hunting tools. Every human outpost in contested space deploys them at sunset. They can track movement up to 200 kilometers away. Footsteps, heartbeats, even breathing patterns. In darkness, humans don't just fight differently. They think differently. He pulled up another file. This one a psychological profile compiled by the Galactic Council's Xenobiology Department. Human vision deteriorates significantly in low-light conditions compared to most species. By all logic, they should be at a severe disadvantage after dark. Instead, they become apex predators. Their hearing sharpens, their patience becomes infinite, and their capacity for violence. He paused, looking around the bridge. There's a human saying, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." Their homeworld tried to kill them for millions of years. They adapted. The pilot's voice cracked slightly as he spoke. Sir, stellar position indicates sunset in 90 minutes. Begin departure procedures immediately, Veltar ordered. Full burn to minimum safe jump distance. As their ship's engines engaged, pushing them away from the human outpost, Dr. Yolanthe couldn't help but ask Captain, "Surely this is just psychological warfare, reputation building to discourage attacks?" Feltar was quiet for a long moment, watching the human facility shrink on their screens. "Doctor, 3 years ago I commanded a squadron of 12 ships. We attempted a night raid on a human research station. Nothing more than 100 scientists and maybe 20 security personnel. Our intelligence was perfect, our equipment superior, our numbers overwhelming. What happened? I still don't know." His voice was barely above a whisper. "We approached at local midnight. Communications went down first, not jammed, just silent. Then sensors started failing. One by one, my ship stopped responding to hails. I ordered immediate retreat, but only my ship made it out. The bridge fell silent except for the hum of the engines. We found the wreckage 3 days later. Every ship had been boarded. Security footage showed the same thing on each vessel. Humans moving through corridors in complete darkness, appearing and disappearing like ghosts. They left no survivors, took nothing of value, and vanished back to their outpost before dawn. The star began to set on Kepler 442c's horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and red. Down below, the human outpost's external lights began to dim one by one, until only a few remained, just enough to mark the facility's location, but not enough to illuminate its perimeter. "Sir," the communications officer reported, "we're receiving a transmission from the human outpost." On screen, a human face appeared, middle-aged, weathered, with eyes that seemed too alert for someone who should be settling in for the night. "Zephyrian vessel, this is Commander Sarah Chen of Outpost Hadley. We've noted your presence in our vicinity. Please be advised that our facility transitions to night protocols in approximately 15 minutes. For your safety, we recommend maintaining your current distance until local sunrise." The transmission ended. Crixon frowned. "Sir, that almost sounded like a warning." "It was," Veltar replied, watching as the last light faded from the planet's surface. Below them, the human outpost disappeared entirely into the darkness. No lights, no heat signatures, no electromagnetic emissions. As if 200 humans had simply vanished. "It was a warning," he repeated, "and a promise." As their ship jumped to hyperspace, leaving the system far behind, none of them noticed the brief sensor contact that had appeared on their stern for exactly 3 seconds during their departure, close enough to touch their hull, too small to be a ship, too large to be debris, and moving in ways that violated several laws of physics. In the darkness below, Outpost Hadley had begun its night shift, and the hunters were awake.